Hi, and welcome to the Sequire Spotlight. You're with Carmel Fisher, and we're doing a roundup of Q3 earnings season. With me, I have Mr. Barry Salone, President and CEO of Newtek Business Services with the ticker NEWT. Welcome, Mr. Barry Salone. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for having me today.
Wonderful. Always happy to have you. Just to get straight into it, will you please give us an overview of Newt?
Sure. So Newtek Business Service Corp is a BDC, a business development corporation, which is a 1940s Act company. And we provide financial and business solutions to independent business owners in all 50 states across the United States. In our current form, we're a dividend paying company where we have to pay out between 90 to 100% of our earnings in the form of a dividend. The expected cash dividend for this year is $3.15 with $1.05 declared for Q4 with an ex-dividend date of December 17. So we've been in business for over 21 years as a public company, 23 years since inception. And thank God the company's had a terrific year in calendar year 2021. And we look forward to producing some great results in 2022.
Excellent. Wonderful on the success so far. With the new variant popping up, do you foresee any challenges that may bring?
Well, the last day or two, it's actually been some more positive news. I think going back about 7 or 8 business days, things were a little scary. But as more information unfolds, the market, the world, the U.S. economy is realizing that this is just the new norm and that we're all going to have to work through dealing with vaccines, booster shots, and being a little extra careful, but not shutting the economy down. So we've experienced a little bit of fits and starts in the bond market and in the equities market. So apart from the financial markets, I think the consumers are going full steam ahead. The airports are full. Supply of everything is pretty tight. People are spending money. There's a ton of liquidity. And you also have to deal with inflationary characteristics and higher prices. But we're aware of all these things. We've been around for over 2 decades, and we've seen things like this before.
100%. And if it doesn't break us, it definitely builds the resilience, which I think Newtek is proving to have a strong trait in that resilience, right? So on that note, can you touch on some of the company's biggest strengths?
Sure, and I think to echo that sentiment, look, we've been through 9/11, we've been through the credit crisis, we've been through wars, we've been through pandemics, and I think the strength of the management team in over 2 decades is we are resilient, and we know how to grow, we know how to satisfy our customers and how to survive. We provide a full suite of financial and business solutions to the small and medium-sized business market. I think our flagship product is that we're a major small business lender. We're the largest non-bank government guaranteed lender in the United States, including banks. We're third largest. We also provide payment processing solutions, tax solutions, payroll health and benefits, and insurance solutions. So we really know and understand independent business owners, and we're very well set up, particularly in this digitized economy that we refer to Newtek as a company that is bankerless, branchless, and BDO-less. So we really do know how to provide services to small and medium-sized businesses by working remotely. And that's played into our strength in the last year of 2020 and 2021.
Wonderful. Can we switch over now into the financial information and your recent Q3 earnings report? We'd love for you to highlight just some key takeaways from that report.
Sure. So a lot of investors are not that familiar with BDCs or business development corporations. And we have been a BDC since calendar year 2014. In August of this past year, we did announce that we have contracted to acquire a bank. So down the road, subject to a proxy vote, as well as regulatory approval, Newtek Business Service Corp will convert from a BDC into a bank holding company. That sort of weaves into our third quarter and fourth quarter projected results. So in Q3, we paid a 90-cent dividend, In Q4, the board has declared a $1.05 dividend. So you could see, almost $2 in dividends in the third and fourth quarter. We also told the market that we've got a tremendous backlog and pipeline of loan originations, and that in the month of October, we had $100 million worth of approved pending closings, SBA 7A loans, our greatest month ever. The portfolio in itself is really doing very well. And I say that from a credit perspective, particularly in a market that's as volatile as it is. You want to make sure that your credits hold up. So the lending side of the business, which has been the workhorse of the company, doing well. At our business solution side, payment processing, tax solutions, payroll, health and benefits, and insurance, doing extraordinarily well. We're controlling our expenses. We're growing our earnings and dividends. We have a really bright future. We've also forecasted a 65-cent dividend for Q1, which seasonally is one of our weakest quarters throughout the calendar year. And that's Q1 2022, a 65-cent dividend.
Wonderful. Barry, do you mind touching on the potential threats or risks involved with taking on this big new business model of yes, being a bank of sorts?
Sure. I appreciate the question because we clearly, since we've announced the acquisition of the bank, have seen somewhat of a transformation in our shareholder base. BDCs, or business development corps, do not qualify for any of the Russell indices or the S&P indices. And that really limits the amount of the shareholder base to primarily retail. We have an institutional shareholder base, but historically, as a BDC, it's retail. So we've seen that a lot of people that have been in the stock primarily for the dividend have recently sold or liquidated positions, and we're picking up an institutional following. So I think that from our perspective, we look forward to the challenge. We think the stock clearly is trading at a bit of a discount only from the perspective of, gee, am I investing in a BDC or am I investing in a bank? And as time goes on and we're able to clear the hurdles, go ahead and get a proxy vote, hopefully get regulatory approval, some of these question marks will go away and we'll be able to get back to a really strong, solid track of growth in the stock. With that said, if you look at our 10-year, 5-year, 3-year, and 1-year returns, we beat the S&P, the Russell, and the Dow repeatedly. We're over 1,000% rate of return historically over the course of 10 years. I think in the last year, as of today, we're probably up about 50%, including dividends. So we've had a really strong last year, a really strong 10-year, and we, look for investors to basically look at the company, look at the management team, look at our initiatives in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. It's always good to really, when you're investing in a company, you're either betting with or against management. And we think those trends obviously historically have been good. And we're very confident that we're going to be able to deliver high quality results in the future.
Excellent point. Exactly, because history does speak for itself, and trends and patterns and that notion of, the resilience, coming back to that again, is definitely proven. And so it's about trusting the forward momentum of these powerful, smart individuals leading the company. But just to make it absolutely clear, what are the benefits of this move to the banking sphere?
Sure. Well, I think that in looking at Newtek Business Services Corp, we do everything that a bank does and more. And in the future, the ability to have depository services for our customers. And we've also talked about launching the Newtek dashboard, which will give a business owner a financial tool that will be able to allow them to analyze their data, have their data integrate into the accounting GL, and to really provide all of their key business fundamental solutions on one single dashboard, one single sign-on. So from the dashboard, you'll be able to move your money around, see your banking accounts, see your deposits, do invoicing, and have the invoices paid through ACH or credit card. You'll be able to see all your credit card payment transactions by individual transaction, by batch, same day this year, same day last year, same quarter this year, same quarter last year, amount of debit, amount of credit, amount of Visa, Amex, Discover. You'll also be able to store all your organizational documents in the dashboard. We do that through our Newtek Managed Tech Solutions business unit. So your articles of incorporation, limited liability agreements, secretary certificates, leasing agreements, insurance policies, everything is stored in the dashboard. You'll be able to do payroll from the dashboard, make payroll. You'll be able to purchase workman's comp insurance, health insurance. That dashboard will be a tool for a business owner that they can't do without. It also gives us the ability to margin pool with our business clients. So we think by becoming a bank holding company, owning a bank, we're going to be able to be a much greater service provider to our customers. Financially, lower cost of deposits, ability to leverage beyond the 2-to-1 cap of a BDC. We think this is a big win for our shareholders.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Are there 3 takeaways that you'd like us to round off with before we close off on this interview?
Yeah, I think that we'd like investors to focus on the fact that company has been around for 21 years as a public company and has always done well by its shareholders. Number 2, we're servicing the market that the SBA defines as 30 million businesses in the United States, over 50% of non-farm GDP, and 65% of net new job growth. Lastly, there's no question that banks of the future will be branchless, brokerless, BDO-less, and bankerless. Newtek is set up in that area. We'll be able to be a low-cost provider with great state-of-the-art solutions, the best technology for our clients to be able to run their business cost-effectively, securely, and efficiently. So we like the investment community to keep an eye on the company, listen to our press, listen to our conference calls, pay attention to our press releases, and watch us continue to hit our execution metrics going forward. We've always historically done that and delivered great results to shareholders, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to grow a new investor base, particularly with institutional investors that understand the value proposition of investing in tech-enabled banks.
Excellent. Where can investors keep up to date with all this information?
So Newtek One, NEWTEKONE, and go to the investor relations section. We archive all of our conference calls, our press releases, wealth of information on that site. I want to point out that obviously a lot of things I've said today are forward leaning, and that everything that we are talking about with respect to the bank is subject to a proxy vote to approve us acquiring the bank and coming out of the BDC structure, as well as regulatory approval.
Excellent. Barry, thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed this insightful conversation. I'm Carmel Fisher, and you're watching Sequire Spotlight for your roundup of Q3 earnings season.